What is up, everybody? Booztown GB here coming at you, and today we got the 1988 Ford Thunderbird, and we finished the supercharger system on it. So let's take a look. This thing is quite jank. You might remember this thing, the blower at least, from the Corolla build. Didn't really work, but this thing kinda really works. So probably best hood cut I've done for a blower in a long time. Other than this little corner I probably could have left on, but I wasn't sure how the throttle body was going to situate. So, this throttle body is off a 460 Ford, and as you can see, it's flipped upside down, or backwards. So, where the intake manifold normally bolts is now where I'm going to bolt an air filter. And I just silicone couplered using the intake tubes for the 460 to the supercharger. So we have dual throttle body. Nice. And it turns out that Ford in the 80s has the same throttle position plug and sensor. So we got some brackets coming off a steel plate, some big pipes that go to some angle iron that bolts to the water pump and the cylinder head. And then in the back, through all this wiring, there is a... It's being stupid with the focus now. Anyway, there's a bracket that goes to the engine pull bracket. And that's how it's mounted in the back. But I'm moving the whole engine when I move the supercharger, so it's sturdy. We extended the plug for the throttle position because they're way down there. And all I did was unplug the stock one and wire the throttle body open with a spring, so the spring can just fall off if it wants to, and then it closes in case this thing blows off, and then it doesn't just run away and run wild. We mounted the factory throttle bracket to the throttle body, the stock one. We just have it going up with a piece of welding rod hooked to it, and it works. But it doesn't go full throttle. It's got like 80%, 85%. I'll show you. That's it. That's all we got. We got full throttle. As of yet, I have to change either the cable or I need to modify the spring because it bottoms out on the spring. If you see it right there, can't go any further. So that's a problem. We're gonna have to solve that. Also, another problem here, as you can see from my paint mark that is now worn away, the belt just so slightly touches this front washer. So what I was gonna do is just take the belt off, take the grinder and grind this top piece further in, so it'll give it some clearance. It's not rubbing on it to the point where it's gonna come off, it's just touching it. So, and with the deflection and all that, it might eventually wear out and break. Got headers from a 95 Mustang on it because I wasn't a fan. Well, you can't see nothing down in there. You might see a tube. Yep. Didn't like the manifolds. Here they are. So here's the side pipes. I've yet to put them on, obviously. Don't mind the millions of sections. I'm working with what I got. We don't have any 3-inch pipe left. I'm gonna fire this thing up and we're gonna go for a rip. I don't have a shifter hooked up because I gotta bolt on the bracket to the transmission and then cut a hole in the floor because the stock column shifter sucks. So I'm gonna put a floor shifter out of the 81 Capri that I have so I can start it. I put the block there, I reach under it, I put it in first gear and I hop in, and then we just drive over the block like a jerk. drive it. Sure, it's got decapped 460 injectors. Fucking thing's got some torque though. So I think the injectors are a little much. 460 ones, as far as I can remember, because they didn't come out of a Chrysler. They actually came out of my Jeep 4-liter that I had the turbo kit on way back in the day. And those were decapped, and I'm pretty sure I had 460 injectors in that thing. It'd probably be okay with like stock 318 Chrysler injectors or something. And I should take a look at that fuel regulator. But everything else seemed pretty fine. It definitely like has some torque on the throttle. Like it just takes it. It doesn't like stutter or nothing. It's pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. Well, even the blower snout's nice and cool. The intake temperature's not that bad. I think I have to put a piece of metal inside this tube, because when it's under vacuum it's a little collapsed. I was expecting that, but you just basically take a aluminum or steel pipe and shove it in there with like a hose clamp so it doesn't move around. That hose is smaller than the inlet on the supercharger, so if it falls out it might go into the blower, or at least like bounce around in there. I don't know if it would get sucked into it, but you know, that wouldn't be very good. So yeah, this was like successful, and the belt didn't even come off. Like, I did pretty good. Now obviously to change injectors I gotta pull the intake back off and probably just pull the whole supercharger off to make it easier, but it's 5 bolts to take it off the engine. It's not bad. If it still overfuels with the smaller injectors in it, it might be something up with the throttle position, because I pulled this off of a 460 that's been out pretty much outside for like a decade, so that thing might be messed up. And the little slot where the thing goes, the throttle to actuate the thing, was like kind of wore out, dug into the plastic, so I don't know if it's like in the right range. It might need a new one or a better condition one. Or I might try to take this one off of this throttle body and put it on. So now I gotta start building the fantastical side pipes and also weld the diff. I'm not gonna do any burnouts yet because I want to put this on a line lock. I'm pretty sure this one, I forget which one goes to the rear, I'll have to trace it, but basically I don't want to cut the brakes because I think they do work. Although the brake light was on, I don't know what that was. I'd rather just put a line lock and leave the brakes to the rear. Unless the brake line going to the rear is broken, then I will just crimp that and not have rear brakes. And then you don't need a line lock, because you always have line lock. I just figured I'd do a little video because some of you folks might like this. Some may not. Some may be like, junk, throw an LS in it with 2 turbos and 8,000 horsepower, and then you got me interested. I think Australia would love this shit. The blower, man. The blower, mate. He's got the blower through the hood on the V6. They do a lot of V6 and blowers and shit. And they do rotaries and blowers. A lot cooler than America. Anyway, that's it.